uns 23 minutos. Vamos acompanhar junto, né? Eu vou dar uma compartilhada aqui no meu Facebook, pra galera lá ficar sabendo também que tá tendo um videozinho aí. Ok. Uns 23. Show. Criar aqui a publicação. E já vamos começar, né? Eu tô muito ansioso por esse jogo. E vamos lá. Vamos assistir. Não vai demorar muito aí pra eles estarem revelando aí o PlayStation 5, né?
I know you wish things were different.
Isso parece ser um resumo da primeira parte.
I wish things were different.
Isso aí já é da segunda parte.
But they ain't.
Please stop.
Ok. Caraca, vai toda surrada. Provavelmente ela foi muito torturada.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Aconteceu alguma coisa, né? Ela vai atrás de vingança.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
Did they just get
Caraca,
together
velho, olha
with
as
us?
tripas.
How'd you find us?
You can't stop this.
Caraca,
You
velho.
won. But not at any cost.
Ela tem uma carinha de inocente, mas
I really hope you make it.
essa menina vai virar o capeta, velho. Caraca!
There's a cost.
We could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
O velho pé de cabra.
I'm Neil Druckmann, Vice President of Naughty Dog and the Director of The Last of Us Part 2. We're just a few weeks away from launch on June 19th, when the game will finally be in your hands.
Velho, olha o
The wait has
detalhe,
been long,
velho.
and we're
Tá louco,
extremely
velho.
grateful for your patience, especially now in the midst of these unprecedented and challenging times. We hope you're all taking care of yourselves and that you, your friends, and your loved ones are doing well. Because of these extraordinary circumstances, we can't be together in this final stretch and share the experience like we usually would. So today we're trying something different. Something we've never done before. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to give you an in-depth look into what awaits you in The Last of Us Part 2, including new details about the gameplay experience and story. And to cap it all off, we'll be showing a never-before-seen, lengthy gameplay sequence. You'll definitely want to stick around for that.
Eles devem matar aquela namorada dela, ela fica putaça e vai atrás de vingança.
You're supposed to take her to the
Que nem o Rambo,
and walk away.
né?
They were actually gonna make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her.
The Last of Us Part 2 picks up Ellie and Joel's story several years after the events of the first game. Ellie and Joel have settled in Jackson, Wyoming, amongst a thriving community of survivors.
É, isso aí todo mundo já tava ciente, né? Que eles voltam lá pra onde estava o irmão dele.
Jackson has been able to find relative peace and even stability. Ellie is now 19, lives on her own, and has been able to forge lasting relationships within the community.
Scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
Fumando baseado.
However, this peace is short-lived. Jackson and Ellie suffer a violent and traumatizing event. Ellie sets off back into the treacherous outside world in search of retribution and justice.
Isso já tá na cara já, né? Que
Her journey will take her to new parts of the country previously unexplored in The Last of Us.
Isso já tá na cara.
Multiple seasons and climates, from the snow-capped mountains of Jackson to the lush Pacific Northwest.
As duas provavelmente elas vão sair pra poder se aventurar em algum lugar, elas vão ser capturadas, torturadas e a menina lá vai ser brutalmente morta.
Our goal was to make these environments not only beautiful, but feel as grounded and authentic to the cities they're based on as possible. Much of the story unfolds in what remains of Seattle.
Cara, olha isso, velho. Pelo amor de Deus, velho. O detalhe tá show de bola.
Diverse, spanning a dense city center with a skyline of towering high-rises to the beautiful suburbs and stormy waterfronts that surround it. The city exhibits drastic shifts in architecture, elevation, and weather. And with Part 2, we've introduced new traversal mechanics that afford greater exploration and ways to navigate threats. Ellie is not only able to climb and jump over gaps, but she can use ropes to scale vertical terrain or swing over obstacles, allowing you to discover new areas, resources, and side narratives.
Então quer dizer que você vai poder explorar o mínimo do mínimo do mapa. Eu falo o mínimo, no mínimo quer dizer o máximo do mapa, né? Porque você vai poder explorar os mínimos detalhes do mapa.
Horseback riding will allow Ellie to quickly cover some of these expansive terrains. Some streets are so flooded that a boat is required to navigate them.
Isso aí é uma péssima ideia, velho.
Is as lush and inviting as it is deadly. As Ellie uncovers the path to finding those who have wronged her, she must face the many threats of this unknown city. In the wake of the pandemic and the fall of the quarantine zone, Seattle has become a war zone, where two warring factions find themselves in an ongoing conflict for territory and resources. One of these groups is the Washington Liberation Front, otherwise known as the WLF. The WLF are a militia group that began as resistance to the military occupation of Seattle, and eventually wrestled control of the city from them. They are highly trained, organized, and well-equipped with weapons they stole from the army. They occupy much of the city, imprisoning or killing trespassers on site.
Hey, we got another trespasser. A girl. Did you see her?
On the other side of this bloody conflict is a group of religious zealots called the Seraphites, or Scars, defined by the self-inflicted deep cuts that they bear across their faces. Like the WLF, they're deeply tribalistic and territorial. They're known for being stealthy, using overgrowth as cover, and they use more silent weapons like bows and arrows.
Clip her wings.
But beyond this conflict among survivors, the threat that originally brought the world to its knees is very much present. Every human is in danger of falling victim to the infected.
No.
They are the recently infected runners, who are more numerous and aggressive in this game. The blind but extremely deadly clickers, and the stalkers, who sneak and hide until they're ready to attack, surprising their victims with extreme agility and brutal violence. The Last of Us Part 2 introduces new stages of infected, such as the Shamblers. Large, heavily armored enemies that are covered in pustule.
Caraca,
Upon getting
velho, olha
close to you,
isso.
they expel a corrosive spore cloud that burns its victims. But our most terrifying and lethal new forms of infected will have to wait until you play the game for yourselves. Overcoming these threats will require careful consideration of how you approach every combat encounter and how you leverage Ellie's unique skills, equipment, and the environment to your advantage.
Nossa. Os
The
cachorros vão
governor
te
left patrol
dedurar.
the streets of Seattle with guard dogs, which are capable of detecting and following you, even while in cover. They can pick up your scent and alert their handlers to your presence. Listen mode will reveal your scent trail, so keep moving and cause distractions to avoid detection. 25 years after the pandemic began, the world is completely overgrown. Use tall grass to hide from enemies and go prone to stay out of sight. However, this form
Caraca,
of
véi.
stealth means you're never fully hidden. If enemies get close enough, they can discover you, even in grass. When Ellie is overwhelmed, running away is a viable option. You can also break glass or crawl through tight spaces to find new paths or areas to evade or take on your enemies. In any given combat situation, you can flee an encounter and re-establish stealth to regain the advantage. If you absolutely have to fight your way out, there are a variety of tools at your disposal. Ellie's more agile than most of her enemies. She can sprint and quickly dodge incoming attacks. Learning how opponents attack with different weapons and mastering the timing of your dodges will prevent you from taking damage and create opportunities to counterattack. You can use throwable items or well-placed shots to stun enemies before dealing a killing blow. Or using them as a shield to protect yourself or buy some time to figure out your next move. Ellie isn't always alone on her journey. Allies will take part in helping you navigate the environments, spot enemies, and meaningfully help you in combat encounters.
Caralho, velho, da hora, hein?
Between the human survivors and the roaming infected, there will be times where multiple threats are present, creating new strategic considerations and opportunities. You can choose whether to attack these opponents separately and directly, or find ways to pit them against each other. Flee as they fight, or wait until their numbers have thinned out and engage with whomever's left.
Caraca!
Our goal is to create unparalleled tension, coupled with deep systems that give you greater control and influence over your journey. As you play,
Nossa.
you'll be able to invest in a broad collection of crafting items, weapon, and player upgrades, through training manuals scattered throughout the environment and scavenging for ingredients.
Véi,
These
isso aí vai
skills
ser
and
da hora.
upgrade manuals cater to a variety of playstyles, and the choices you make will create your own distinct experience. We also wanted to extend that agency and personalization to your weapons through our new workbench system. Scavenge for parts to modify and improve your weapon's performance and attributes, all of which are visualized and become part of your character. Survival will also require using the parts and ingredients that you'll find in the environment, which can be crafted into a wide range of defensive and offensive items.
Caraca,
like
velho, o
proximity mines,
tirão que tomou na cara
explosive
dele.
arrows, pistol suppressors, and more.
Ih?
All of these gameplay systems are meant to immerse you in the world and make you feel in lockstep with Ellie's emotional journey. As we've said before, this is Naughty Dog's largest, most ambitious game. It may seem like we covered a lot, but we've only scratched the surface of what it's like to play The Last of Us Part 2. We can't wait for you to experience it all for yourself on June 19th. Until then, here's an extended sequence of never-before-seen gameplay. Enjoy.
Agora ele vai mostrar uma gameplay agora. Vai, na moral, a Naughty Dog o trabalho dela é incrível.
Did you find her yet? Isaac's not happy about it.
What the fuck are they talking about?
Ó, eu vi coisa ali embaixo, hein? Tipo um colecionável ali.
Don't make a fucking sound. Hands up.
Caraca, a menina tá com o PS Vita na mão.
Where is she? We're in the hospital.
But they're clearing out the other floors. She's somewhere in there.
Ih! Acabou de matar o último usuário de PS Vita do planeta. Ó, um revólver ali.
Hey, we get the job done.
Só observando.
Data soldier. Makes these shifts so much easier.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Seems like scars are getting closer.
That's our guys executing.
Hey, did you hear how we're all getting closer to the fire?
Nossa senhora.
Isaac wants us to retake all of downtown.
Well, maybe it might take the fire to run.
Silenciador com litrão. Um litrinho ali, ó.
After what went down last time. Even Isaac isn't that crazy.
That's what I heard.
Hey, all right. Calm down.
Fez um molotovzinho. Ih! esse jogo ficou brutal mesmo, hein? Ficou da hora esse trem. Realismo puro. Caraca, velho. Ó, vai dar de cara com uma arma aí, vô. Pegou só munição. Ah não, a arma ainda parece que ela já tem, ó. Ih, agora já era.
I'll go check it out. Shit! Shit! Look out! Move over here! Drop her now, quick! Asshole! I found her!
Ih!
You, Nora? What the fuck was that we hear?
You're not stupid. You're gonna tell us where she went.
When Isaac talks to us about this,
I'm getting tired of this.
Nora. Nora! I'm not going down for him, man.
No.
don't scream. That shit down. Remember me?
Você lembra de mim? É claro que você lembra. É jogo bom, é jogo bom, é jogo bom. State of Play. Capturado do PS4 Pro. Pois é, galera, é isso aí. Infelizmente eu não tenho um PlayStation 4 Pro, né, galera? Eu tenho o PlayStation 4 normal para poder jogar essa belezura aí. E eu vou tentar fazer alguma maneira aí de tentar ligar o meu PlayStation 4 ao meu computador pra gente poder jogar e fazer a live bacana aí, né? E ver o que dá pra fazer. Beleza? Então, galera, vou ficando por aqui. E minhas impressões é o seguinte, né? A menina é uma espécie de Rambo em miniatura, né? Ela não tem dó de ninguém, não. Ela tá atrás de vingança mesmo. Então vai passar faca em todo mundo. O porrete, tiro e o que tiver que jogar neles, fogo, molotov, essas coisas, vai carbonizar metade do planeta ali atrás de vingança. Beleza então, galera?